Media. Golden Production. Gold Media.
Hello, you're welcome to your number one inspirational TV show, The Havilah Show. Here we inspire you, we inform you, educate you, and we entertain you. My name is Havilah. If you're new to this show, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Havilah Show. I remember your humble host, Havilah Oluwafemi Jacobs, aka Havilah One. Today is going to be another exciting show today, as we have a special guest for you. Woo! I don't know. Well, actually, we'll play. You know how we do it on the show. We're going to play the introduction video, and right after that, we'll bring our guest on the show and we start talking.
This week on The Havilah Show. Gbenga Phatstrings is a music producer, recording gospel artist, songwriter, bass guitarist, and also the founder and CEO of Awesome Studios, a Lagos-based recording, editing and sound design outfit, having worked with diverse music artists including Frank Edwards, Mike Abdul, T.Y. Bello, Segun Abe, Peter, Olawoshalom, Naomi Mack, Amy Berner, USA, and a number of international TV and movie soundtracks. Phatstrings, as he's often called, has established his unique and distinctive sound in music production. His latest single Oberton Jar Fun Me is a testament to his special gift. And many talents. Released on the 1st of December 2020, Gbenga describes the self-produced track as the testimony of his personal life. He also has other well-received tracks to his name, some of which include Anu Ni Mo Rigba, Dimimu, Hold Me, Atopaju, Testimony in 7.8, and Simply Because, all of which have continued to garner great reviews on online and terrestrial stations, as well as being loved and performed by church choirs in Nigeria, USA, Canada, India, etc. As a songwriter, he penned and produced Unquestionable for gospel vocal powerhouse Segun Abe and has songwriting credits on several other tracks. He is currently involved in songwriting arrangements and collaborations with a number of celebrated gospel artists. Gbenga loves to write and produce soundtracks and movie scores, and has worked on an international animation movie and some TV productions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Phatstrings. The Havilah Show. Be inspired.
Yeah, you're welcome to the show. Good to have you on the show. Wow. We're excited. We are happy. Yes, good to have you on the show. Now, so tell us who is Mr. Gbenga Akinfenwa? Yes.
Okay, Gbenga Akinfenwa is a Christian, a child of God. I usually tell people that I'm a husband of one, a son of two, a father of three, a brother of four, and a friend of many. Wow. Bred and raised, buttered in Lagos, Nigeria. I went to school studying engineering, physics, electronics, elect, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of a maths, science person. But I've always had music inherent in, as part of my expression, right from before I was 10 years old. So, and while I was 10 years old, when I was 10 years old, a pastor had, we're in the middle of service. I can't remember what exactly I was doing. I was just being a boy, you know. I was in the adult church with, you know, a lot of other boys, and the pastor stopped right in the middle of service and singled out myself and my younger brother, wrote to me and said, God wants to use you in the music space, and told us to stand up and go and sit down with the choir. Now, we didn't have any musical pedigree at that time, nothing. I don't, you know, for me, it was that is a pointer to the calling, as we like to say, you know, in Christendom. For me, at that time, I didn't realize the gravity of it. But right at that time, it literally, you know, things just started going up. I started playing the drums, started playing bass afterwards, became church drummer, and then sang. You know, it was almost like I became a new person, you know, as a 10, 11-year-old. You know, so I was 10. My younger brother wrote to me, you probably know him. He's a producer. He was in the same service, and you know, out of, I don't know, maybe 20-something, 30-something boys, that pastor stopped in the middle of his service and called just the two of us out, you know, and seeing how God has done what He's done through us since that time. I could only say it was, for me, it was the physical manifestation of the calling of God upon my life. You know, so from there to different schools, different places, different assignments, I've always manifested, you know, that which God has given me. So here we are today.
So it all started from that encounter.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So because my parents are not musicians, they don't have any musical pedigree. If my dad sings, you probably laugh. You know, we don't have. It's not a, you know, and out of 5 children, almost everybody has some musical talent, but it's just the two of us that really showcase the talent on this level. You know, so even though I didn't become a professional musical person immediately, I always operated like a musical. You know, you can't meet me in school and not know that this guy is a musician. You know, I directed choir, played bass, played drums, did all that. You know, so it's all in there. So from that period up until now, a little over 30 years, God has been good.
So you've been in music for 30 years.
From that part, so now over 30 years, yes.
Over 30 years. Amazing,
yes,
amazing. Wow. Okay, now so tell us, what inspired you?
So professionally, a couple of years back, I was working in IT. I worked in, you know, a couple of nice places. I was having fun. A part of me had always known that I was going to end up, if I was going to have a startup, some kind of company, it would be in the artistic space. You know, so even though I'd always written songs, I have loads and loads of songs written. Some of them I have produced by myself, left there. You know, some of them I give to people, you know. But then I was going to hit a milestone age. And I told myself, you know, by this age, I don't want to work for people again. You know, I don't want to work for anybody, having a boss or having to send email 2 a.m. in the morning. I don't want to do that. You know, I want it to be my own. You know, so that was what happened. Even though before then as well, I was almost like a semi-pro. I was in and around producers. I was doing stuff for people. I was producing some little projects. Sometimes free, you know. You have to produce for it. Sometimes, you know, you get paid, because I had a regular 9-to-5 job, you know. So, but then there were a few people around me who were always pushing me and saying, "Oh, no, you need to do this on the freestyle. You know, look at what you're producing, look at what you're giving out, and then you're not doing it. You know, just we need you. We just need you. You know, this needs you." And while I try not to get moved by all of that, I kind of kept my cool until, and then because of the way the gospel scene, should I say the entertainment scene is structured, or is cut out. It wasn't very attractive to me, I must say. Having a nice job, safe job, you know what your KPIs are, if I do this, I go to the next level. Then coming to a not very structured environment, especially that which is gospel, I wasn't attracted to it until I'm like, okay, there was a day I was telling myself, okay, so if we get to heaven, am I going to tell God that, oh, I configured that server, oh, I did that, that's not my assignment. It was a job. It was a good job, it was an okay job, but it was exciting job. I like little programming. I like doing IT stuff. I'm a techie kind of person, but I was telling myself, is it what we're going to tell God that that's what you did, and then you paid bills and then you died? I had songs there. I don't know if you know Dimimu. Dimimu was the first song I released, and Dimimu has been there since 1999.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was. I mean, we sang it in school. I sang it in a few places. It had some underground popularity, if I could put it that way. People knew it. People didn't know the name behind it, the face behind it, but it was just there. So one day I was just calling my head in shame, like, wow, the song has been there for a while, and you're just doing another man's, So, I had a discussion with my wife, prayed about it. I just gave myself a time to X out of, 9 to 5, and that's what I did.
Yeah. How was it like when you left 9 to 5? How was it? How for someone who's actually watching, who wants to break out of that and start their own, how did it go? How was the challenge like, and how did you get over it?
Okay, I'll try and be very honest. It was a little scary because so I had a plan, have some saving, blah blah. At that time, I built my studio, my own studio at least.
Yeah.
So I was going to work, but this was an industry where a lot of people didn't know me. Most of the people that knew me from church circles or when I trained choirs. That's not a lot, So, but I gave myself a 6-month transition. Period, and having not to stand up in the morning and go to work, it was really different, but I kind of got used to it. And then I tried to put out as many works as possible. And the advantage for me was at that time I had things done. I was just sitting down on the hard drive, so someone would come and say, oh, I like this song. Can you give me a song like that? So all I just do, just go into the hard drive, copy it out, put in their key. And then, so I stepped in as a producer, so I was producing people. I wasn't doing much of my own song. So quite a number of people knew me as a producer and not as an artist, But oftentimes people will come into the studio and then I'll vocal produce them, I'll full produce them, then I'll back up for them,
Wow.
But then gradually I start putting my stuff out there. And then I'm kind of my personality, people say I'm sanguine, phlegmatic. So I can be sanguine, but I'm also quite just laid back. I don't like to run people's races. Oh, everybody's about to, everybody's putting out there, pa. Yeah, good for them. I want to be comfortable in my own space, So I took my time. Because people are putting out songs doesn't mean I have to put out songs. So for example, Obatonja for me, one of the songs we were playing earlier, came from a place of prayer. It was a relatively new song. I had stacks of songs that are good songs that I could put out, but it came during the lockdown period, that Corona in 2020. And I just had a very strong urge to put it out, so we recorded and put it out immediately, even though the other songs that I wanted to put out, they were there, so we did the whole thing and put it out there, and look at how God worked to us, so I try to act from a place of conviction, and just do my thing, be confident in my assignment, in my gift, in my strength, and not try to do something because everybody is doing it. So for some of us who are like that, it might seem like you're a little slow, you're getting out there. I'm like, oh. That's just me. That's how I so the transition was, it was well, at least to a great degree. I planned it out, and thank God for a good support system. My wife, my younger sister, were able to work through it.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
what I landed.
So your family, your wife sings.
She sings. I tried to not have her sing, but she sings.
Why did you say? Why?
So I said again.
Why did you say that? You said you tried not to, have
Yeah,
sing.
because I'm a music director. Music directors, we can be hard on people. We have our standards and all that kind of stuff. And someone that you're involved with on several layers, romantically, spiritually, financially, you are locked together.
Okay.
There's a life partner. There's a way I
Yes.
see it. I don't want to put you through this mawala. I'm backing up. Oh, sopranos go up, soprano belts. Altos do this. I don't want to say that to my wife.
You said that romantically to her now. You say,
so
my wife belt up.
And then she's also because she works in a bank environment, so
okay.
you can be busy, and you know how the schedule for music people can be. So I try to just have us in a bit of different lanes, so while I'm at home, she's doing her thing. While I'm doing my thing, she's at home, just to balance things out a little bit.
All right. Now, so as a gospel music minister, what is your strength as a gospel music minister?
I will say first songwriting. I will say first songwriting. Songwriting comes to me as almost always come to me easy. I mean, like I said earlier, from before the age of 10. I will see. So I remember probably my first song that I documented. I don't even remember the lyrics, but I remember I was reading a novel, a write-up.
Yeah.
I must have been 11, 12-ish. Wow. And then, so the man wrote there that, like the words of a song, and then wrote the lyrics in the book. So I'm like, I don't know this song. And then it was like they were singing the song to me. So I thought I was singing the lyrics, and the melody just started coming, and it was perfect for every line. I remember I sang it and I cried. I must have been 11, 12, because the words were heavy, and then the melody just came, like someone was singing it to me, but I knew that this melody didn't exist, at that time. And in the choir then, even though it was an adult choir, I was a little child, but because the pastor had called us, my younger brother and I, into the adult choir when they have things to do, and it was a church that encouraged songwriting. So they have it could be any kind of service. I can quickly come up with a song. So they held me to hone my songwriting skills. And for a long while, I played the bass as well. I still consider the bass guitar to be my forte. I think as a bass player. I played the drums first. I can still hold down, a couple of grooves. But I still consider the bass, and I've not really played the bass actively in maybe 10 years. I've been doing more than 10 years, more of music directing, so I have my hands on the keyboard, I have my hands on the bass, I have my, on everything. And then as a producer, you have to, sometimes, it's not all the time, sometimes you have to be, a bit all over the place, so I can really, hold my own. The only thing the only main instrument I don't really play that much is the guitar. But I have my hands in a few places. So songwriting first.
Yeah.
Singing came much later.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask about singing. Yeah, I wanted to ask about singing.
So it came later. So I'm directing choir, and I'm like, we're singing the song, and then maybe the lead person is singing. I'm like, no, do it like this. I'm like, you're singing better than us. I'm like, nah. I still do it these days. I'm honored to be the head of music in my church.
Okay.
It's a pretty big team, and I try not to sing a lot because the assignment of a music director, choir leader, is to harness talent, is to be a broker of talent. But a lot of people miss it because you're always trying to, I can sing, yes, so I have to sing. No, that's not my personal approach. oh, I can play, so I have to play. No. My job at the heart of it is to be the overarching eye, looking at everybody's talent, weaknesses, and seeing how to sort through all that, and bring the team together. It's almost like in football. It's almost like a coach player. Yeah, a player coach, like they say. So you can play, but you don't have to play. It will be to your advantage if you just stay aloof a bit, so that you can see wider. So I try to do that. So the singing came much later. I enjoy singing. I love singing. I do think I sing, pretty decently. But it came much later. Yeah.
So you write songs for people?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you write songs for people as a gospel minister, do you sell the written songs, or you just write for free for people?
It depends. I do a bit of both.
Okay.
Depends on how it came. So even when God gave me Obatonja, in that season, 2 main songs came. The other one, I was going to sing it as well. Powerful song. I really like it. But when Obatonja came, a gospel artist, a well-known gospel artist, approached me and said, "Oh, I wanted to produce, and and then I don't want to have to write the song. Can you write the song for me?" So I'm like, "Oh, there's another song that I wrote in this period. Do you mind this?" And he heard it and he really liked it. So I just said, "Oh, well, you can have it." So but sometimes people come and say, "Oh, I want to do a song that sounds like this. Can you write and produce?" So then I put everything together in the package and say, okay. But oftentimes I don't even charge them for writing, because it's something that comes a bit. I mean, God is good. I don't consider myself as a good songwriter, but sometimes God just drops this thing like boom. It's almost like someone is talking into your ear, and you're just a physical hand. Another example, if you don't mind, is I just released a new song, quick plug-in, Victory. I think you played that as well.
I was about asking about that song. What's the story behind the song Victory? What's the story behind
literally came less than 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I was prepared. I had an invite to minister at a church, RCCG, the shelter. Shout out to all the people in the shelter, pastored by Pastor Ayo, that's what he's called. Fantastic man of God. Yes. So they had invited us to come and minister, and like I normally do, but I try to ask God, what should we sing? How should I don't just go with a mind of mine. So I was praying and saying, "Oh God, I mean, I've never been to this church before. What is your heart? What should we deliver?" And I think their theme for the month was Songs of Victory. So I was like, "God, so what should we say?" Then I just boom. God has given us. It was basically just everything just came, boom, at least 80% of the song, maybe with the exception of the vamp at the end. So I was in my sitting room, I was vamping to it, like, oh, it's a new song. Then it just kind of linked to that popular show, and I was just vamping to it in my sitting room. And my children have this keyboard in the sitting room at the corner. So I went to it, I was just bumping, pa, 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 pa. I'm like, oh, I like this. But, the intention was not to release a new single, so to speak. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to sing it for these guys. Then I started bumping to it. So when I went to pick my children from school, my son he was looking at me like, why is this guy excited? And then because 2020 had been so hard on people, and I'd had a message, or like an instruction, or like a revelation that January and February for most people was like the concluding part of 2020. So it might seem like nothing has changed from 2020, and God was just saying, that's like the transition. The victory part, the light at the end of the tunnel start from March. So it was like, okay, you might have gone through a lot, but victory is now. You might not see it, but victory is now. Like Elisha, 2 Kings, I believe, Elisha and his servant, all he saw was the host that were against them. And like a lot of us, we just see physical. We see, oh, the economy is not doing well. You know, all the lockdown measures and all that. And God was saying, and Elijah was saying, Elisha's, pardon me, was saying, God just open his eyes so that he will see that on the mountain there are all these chariots of heavenly hosts. You know, so it was for us to see the victory in the middle of what might seem to be like a difficult situation. So he's saying God has given us, you know, Jesus Christ speaking in Luke 10:19, say, I have given you authority to trample upon snakes and scorpions. You know, so I've given you, a lot of people don't know that they have it, because now what seems to be your reality, what you can see with the physical eyes, you know, all this mainstream media, it's bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. You know, but he's saying it's in the middle of that you're supposed to trample upon the enemy. You know, he says gross darkness will cover the people. He said, arise and shine. It's when things are getting bad, so to speak, that the enormity of what God has put inside of us should come out. You know, so it's that to say God has given us victory over the enemy. So whatever you think you're facing or it's up against you, all you have to do is use that which has been given. You know, it's like a bank giving you an ATM card. You don't say, oh, but I don't have physical cash on me. All you have to do is take that card, which is your authority, go slot it in. And then you have one. Yeah. But, you know, you're foolish to say, okay, thank you for this ATM card, but I'm not going to eat ATM card. I need some cash so that I can go buy food, you know, buy grocery. But I say, you have the ATM card. You know, if you're linked to the cash, if I don't even see cash physically, you know, so that was the story behind it. You know, and God just downloaded to me right in the center of my living room, and you know, I put it in a strong in a voice note, and I vibed to it, and I sang it, and I sang. The more I sang it, the more it settled in my spirit.
So how was the ministration when you ministered the song at the church?
It was bombastic. It was like the whole place was like, and it was young people. It was young people, and you know, it can be risky to sing songs that people don't know for gospel artists. Nobody has ever heard of it. You know, if you had, you know, if it was online, someone would have heard it. You know, and we just kept at it, and we sang it, and people sweated, and we stomped on the enemy, and we ran, and we danced, and we played our guitar. It was amazing.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
I hope to say that I'm doing God's will.
Okay, 1.
I hope, why I say that is I found out that oftentimes we might be chasing the wrong things until, for a lot of people, it might be too late. So that's why you see a lot of people most of the people that take it seriously or that are pastors and all that are in their 60s, 50s. Because now time is going and you're like, oh, man, you know, I have all this money, but money has not satisfied me. Or I have all these accolades, but that hasn't brought, you know, fulfillment. So I need to run back to God. You know, so I told myself that my highest aspiration in life is to do God's will. Because in that is every other thing. You know, so I'm working, I hope to say, doing God's will. That is in this season of my life, that is where I'm at.
Okay. Then second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 3 words. That's 3 words. Doing God's will.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Doing God's will.
If you mean, okay, so if you mean 3 different words, I think I'm kind of calm.
Yes.
But I'm also passionate. Calm, passionate, and a couple of words are coming in now. I'm trying to choose the best one that will complete it. I hope to say selfless. I hope to say selfless. A lot of stuff I do are not even for me. I mean, some of the decisions I take is not because of me. So I hope those 3 words describe me. Yeah.
Okay. Now, quick one. Just 2 more questions before we go into the topic of the day. Now, Name three artists you have on your playlist and the songs.
Okay. Ty Tribbett. Ty
Okay.
Tribbett is permanently on my playlist. Like, I love that man and his music, and just how the Holy Spirit manifests through him. He's unusual. I mean, I've followed Ty Tribbett since a little before Victory. Before a lot of people on this side of the world knew him. Till tomorrow, I really like him. And I think the song that really does it for me, I mean, I practically know all his songs. Maybe the iconic one might be Victory.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah. So he has a song. That song. So Ty Tribbett.
Okay.
The second person will be Nathaniel Bassey.
Okay.
Again, I mean, what do you say about Nat? So he's maybe because these guys too are musicians. Before, so there's a knowledge of music behind the ministry that you see. Maybe that for me is what attracts me. So Ty Tribbett is a fantastic musician, keyboardist, music director, same thing. Nathaniel Bassey. And this maybe, and there's stories as well. There were people that were counted out, so to speak. They don't look like Ty, Nat, the kind of songs that Nathaniel Bassey does. Like, oh, it's too slow. He says the same thing, like, it's too slow. Wow, it's not going to sell, And look at how God has done, same thing with Ty Tribbett, So those two. The third one, let me think very well, because I have a lot of a lot of influences back to.
Which song from Nathaniel Bassey? Which of his songs?
Whoa, how do I? So maybe the one that really, right now, I would say Emmanuel. Emmanuel. It's from the King is Coming album. Emmanuel. Might sound like a simple song. So quick background. I bought the album on iTunes.
Okay. So
I'd heard one of the songs on the album, maybe online or something, or he had put it out.
Okay.
So after that, I bought the album and I played it on my iPad. Pow. And me personally, being a musician, I want the intro for a song to be, your first song in the album, let it be light. I just heard no intro, just say, Imana. This is on bootleg album. I'm not sure I'm playing the right. And then I heard it, and just. And I was on that song for maybe 3 days. I couldn't move to another song. So I would say Emmanuel, yes. Yeah, okay. I mean, then after that, I basically played that album throughout 2020. I remember when I'm going to bed, I'll have it play quietly on my iPad in the children's room. So there's a song on there, Psalm 91. I'll put it on repeat and I'll put it in the children's room. And we'll just play all night. And in my own room, I'll just put it on my phone and Emmanuel will just play. And it was like literally on replay for days. Like,
wow.
It didn't go. Yes, so I will say Emmanuel. He has a new song, he has a new album out now. But if I have to choose a song, it will be Emmanuel from the King is Coming album.
Oh, right. Okay. So the third artist.
The third person.
Playlist, yes.
So there's a competition between Josie Oyekon, Mommy Bolaro, Izo Houghton. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that. So I've been listening to Mommy Bolaro, I mean, maybe because she sings mostly in Yoruba since I was a kid. There's something about that woman that is just mind-blowing. Like, I call her the Shirley Caesar of Nigeria, maybe of Africa. She's selling something now and she's still going strong.
Yes.
And the words behind her songs are just amazing. So I might want to throw it back and say, Moibola, but Juicy is there as well, up there as well. I mean,
okay, just give us their songs. Okay.
Second will be Fragrance to Fire. Yeah, Fragrance to Fire. Moibola will be You know, she sang Olorun Agbaye, so it might be Olorun Agbaye. Olorun Agbaye. Oh.
Yes, you are
It was
mighty.
originally a
Yes.
song. So, yeah, so maybe those two, yes.
Hmm.
Israel Holden.
Yes.
Okay. What song should I choose from Israel? Again, I have a long history with Israel. Like I love him, love him, love him, love him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I'll go and research all his band guys. They become when you're playing for Israel, especially in that
New breed. Yeah.
the new breed era. Thank you. The new breed era. All the guys became my guy. You know, I claim drum. Yeah, you know, bass, all of them. You know, so I literally started following them, knew about them. You know, scored as a part of their song because you're playing for Israel. So if I have to choose one song, Israel Holden song, it will probably be "Who Is Like You, Lord, in All the Earth." Matchless love and beauty, endless what. There's something that's on us.
Your
Yeah.
presence.
So
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. All right, so quick one before going to the topic of the day.
Yeah.
Just a few more minutes. Tell us what next. What should we be expecting from you? Next song.
If I say I know for sure, I don't know. So we have a few things lined up, but I tried to be moved. Again, like I said, try to be moved by expediency or what is asking me to do. I'm not trying to sound overly spiritual or deep or whatever, you know, but expediency, what is good for the now? If I wanted to release 3 albums, I think I can go into my hard drive and just pick out songs and just finish them and just release the song, you know. But I'm trying to go expediency. What is the spirit saying for this moment? What does the world need? You know, so in that regard, next one, I plan to drop another worship song, which is my personal testimony. So there's a worship song coming somewhere around May, first, second week in May. We're going to be dropping. Then right after that, maybe we'll just drop the whole album. You know, because a lot of people have been asking, when are you dropping your album?
Please do. We can't wait.
Yes. So somewhere maybe middle of this year, June, July-ish, an album should drop by God's grace.
We can't wait. We can't wait. We can't wait to have that. We can't wait. And we can't wait to host you here in the UK, here in Milton Keynes. We can't just wait. We'd love to have you.
It will be amazing. It will be amazing to come there. I mean, just before the show, I was chatting with one of my friends in the UK, and she was saying how she didn't even know that the song was from me, because I mean, she's a long lost friend, and she was like, "Oh, all my friends have been playing your song." Then I'm like, I know this guy. He's my friend. You know. So maybe it will happen very soon by God's grace.
Yes, by God's grace. Now about the topic for the day, we're talking about relationship and career. We've talked about music, so let's talk about relationship. Now, relationship.
Okay. So relationship for me, and I think to God as well, is the bedrock of everything.
Right.
You know, the kind of guys you choose as friends, the kind of person you get married to, the kind of people you hang out with, the kind of church you go, you know. And I think for a lot of us, we underestimate the power of relationships. People say, "Oh, your net worth is your network is your net worth." It is very true, but it's right there in the Bible as well. You know, oftentimes relationship can make or mar a man.
Yes.
I'll give you a good example. While I was in school, I was in my final year. So this kid, you know, half-caste looking kid, broody hair, looking, or maybe looking 16, trying to get into the university. I think I was trying to get in with like a pre-degree thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So he couldn't even feel a bank draft to pay school fees. He was that innocent looking, and you know, and because people laughed at him, I kind of noticed him like, oh, look at this, you know, little boy, you know. So I just guess what? But what at the end of that year, I saw him, and he was smoking weed on the street, and he had his trousers sagged. He was walking with some guys, and he was talking at the top of his voice, you know. And I literally just stood and watched him go. Like, this is less than a year, maybe about a year since I encountered him being the butt of jokes because he was so innocent, but the people he chose to hang out with when he got into school made him into an entirely different person. So relationships are key to the destiny of a man. For every David, you need a Jonathan. For every Moses, you need an Aaron. You need people, you need a Caleb. You need people that God can use to birth what God has put inside of you. So if we make a mistake in that area, the area of relationship, the area of linking up with the right people, it is possible that the best of God for our lives may not come to pass. I remember the last place I worked. It's a big FMCG company, probably one of the maybe top 3 in Africa, top 3 in the world. It's a big company, and the MD at that time was saying how his trajectory towards becoming, he was a young man. His trajectory towards becoming the MD was crafted by the people that he met on his career path. So relationship can take you to the promised land, and it can also distract you. So to everyone, especially the young ones, the people you hang out with, the kind of crowd you choose to follow, the kind of identity you chart for yourself can make or mar your destiny. You can't do it in the moment. It has to be something you think about. If you can pray about it, deliberately consider it in the context of your life journey, where you think you're going. You can't just, like they say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. I don't have to meet you. I just need to see the guys who came to your party. And I know
that's it.
I just need to, So I don't know the celebrant, but when I look at the people around this party, I say, okay, I think I can have a 95% guess about the character and the person of the celebrant. It is that important. It is that important. Barack Obama, we can go on and on. These are people that it was their relationship. Bill Gates, it was the relationship that made them. I mean, they had talent, they had gifting, they had all those things, but it was the relationship around them.
That's the association you keep.
Association. Thank you. One of my best. I didn't. When you were asking for the musical, the playlist, I didn't mention John Pickey, but it has to be up there somewhere. One of the album that I really liked in his long career is Blessed by Association. The name of the title of the album is Blessed by Association. Yes, so you can association can make or marry. So I mean, I say that I'm also a product of a good and balanced support system. Parents, my wife. I mean, I can talk about my wife for days. My siblings. So they've been strategic. I mean, it's in recent years that I found out, they've been strategically positioned to do different things in my life. Everybody kind of just, I thought this person was just a career, whatever, until, I started doing this, and then that thing became, of a help, I remember when my wife is Igbo, by the way. I'm Yoruba. My wife is Igbo. I never would have thought that I kind of suspected that I might not marry because I was a bit unusual. So when I met my wife, there was no spark initially. Like, I mean, she's beautiful, but I wasn't maybe because I was in another relationship or something. But having seen what we were going through, I'm like, it was like God knew that I would need this kind of person in my life. And I like journey and a story as well. He was just yin for my yang,
Mm.
literally. We just plugged into each other, So God has a way of making us fulfill destiny by the people that He brings into our life. But we have to be intentional about opening the door for certain people and closing the door on certain people. So relationship can be everything. We have examples. We call him that the Geo, Pastor E. Adeboye. Imagine if he hadn't married that kind of woman. Or, I was listening to the story of, it's not a gospel example, but it's DMX. You probably know DMX, the rapper.
Yeah. Yes.
So right now, well, before this interview, he's still in coma because of an overdose.
Yes.
I've heard him pray before. He says it all the time. Obviously, someone who loves Jesus, who loves God, who tries to do the right thing. But as a teenager, someone in his circle laced a joint with crack for him, and he got hooked. Been trying since that time to get off, but he's hooked. He's been fighting that demon. He's 50 something from being a 14-year-old. So imagine if he had the right people around him at that time with all his talent and everything, and not people who will put crack in your hand, who will put the joint in your hand and then lace it with crack cocaine. And as a 50-something-year-old man, he's still battling those demons. So that is the power of a relationship. Someone could give you an advice that could change the trajectory of your life. Someone could stop you from being all that God has ordained to be by the advice they give. Yeah. I mean, David in the Bible said, "Oh, I wish I could have some water from the well of Siloam." And 3 guys, they didn't even ask for the permission. They went through the the enemy's camp just to go and get water for this guy who's the captain. And if you saw how they started, the Bible said that all these guys, they were in debt, they were depressed. They came to me. So these guys were not trained. They were not normal people. They were very useless men. But somehow they came into the life of David, and they got into a place where just him desiring water, they put their life at risk to go and get water for David. That is the power relationship from David to them and from them to David. So usually the healthiest relationship are very symbiotic in nature. So you find people who, I say all the time that if you find someone who in your life who is, forgive my language, who pees over you, who is peeing on you and then calling it rain, run. Run. So relationship can make or mar an individual. Yeah.
Wow. So we need to be careful of the kind of people we work with. Show me your friend, and I'll tell you who you are. I'll show you who you are. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes,
Amazing.
sir. I tell people that even in choosing a producer, so you want to release a song, don't just say, "Oh, this person is popular. Oh, this person is popping on. Oh, he's the one that produced that one, so I'm going to him." Is he the one who's supposed to do the job in the song? You have to pray and say, "Father." So a producer to a song is like a midwife. The song is the baby, the artist is the mother who's carrying this pregnancy in her tummy, but you need a midwife to help you deliver this child. And if you go to the wrong midwife, a perfectly healthy baby can come up with a bent head or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So you need to deliberately choose your producer and say, "God, who is the person that's supposed to midwife this song that you have given unto me?"
Wow.
So it's like, I mean, we can go on and on with different examples. Yes, it's something you have to pray about and be deliberate about.
Wow, amazing. Now talking about career now,
Yes, sir.
is it the same thing with association, or is it different? Career.
Absolutely, it's the same thing. I mean, I made examples before, because when you look at it, our career, we spend a big chunk of our life chasing career. Hold on.
Yes.
Chasing career, trying to improve, trying to navigate upwards, be better at our career. If so, a lot of us sacrifice our health because you're not sleeping well, or
Yes.
you're reading for. I did IT for 10 years plus, over 10
Wow.
years. I remember.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you have to do certifications,
Yeah.
and read up and be up to date,
Exactly.
and do all of that. So we sacrifice a lot to be the best at our career, because oftentimes people are also judged based on your status in career. So
Hmm.
someone is an MD, a managing director. Oh, there's a way
Yeah.
you view them. Oh, and someone is just a starter. There's a way you view them. That's just the ways of men. Let's not even kid around. The Bible says that man looks on the outside. So a lot of us. So career is a big chunk of our life. I even met my wife at the workplace. So imagine if I wasn't working there or something. So
Hmm.
and then we sacrifice a lot. So for musicians, you're always practicing, you're always trying to produce something, you're doing scales, and scoring other people's job. It takes the biggest chunk of your life. And if you're not careful, it can also drive you away from destiny. Because so what happens is a lot of people are solely focused on that career path, that
Yeah.
their relationships suffer,
Hmm.
their spiritual lives suffer, their families suffer. So you found out that, oh, this man is making all the money and is getting promoted, and the company likes him, but when he leaves the job place, he goes home and is a lonely man, or he doesn't have a good
Hmm.
relationship with his wife, or his children rarely see him. So I think they kind of go hand in hand, so that they don't have to be mutually exclusive. It doesn't have one doesn't have to suffer
To
for the
suffer.
other one to thrive. Yes, so career as well. And then I was reading something on, I think must have been on Forbes, on
Okay.
the website, and we're talking about how our view of career has changed. So an average person might have 2 or 3 careers in their lifetime.
Hmm.
These days,
Okay.
in those days, you're a doctor,
Yeah.
then you become a doctor, and then you doctor throughout, and then you retire.
Yeah.
And that,
Yes.
but these days, you can be a doctor, and then
Yes.
you do for 15 years, and then you're just fed up, or you want a new career, and then you can be
You do something.
you can go and do a certification and
Yes.
be a stock something but your doctor skills still come
It's still
into
there.
play.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we're blessed to be in a generation where what you started learning 2-3 years ago, you can be a pro at it, just 2-3 years down the line, because of the internet, because of certification, and because
Yeah.
new jobs are coming. I read
Exactly.
that I think they said 23% or something of the highest paying jobs in the next 20 something years. Those jobs don't even exist right now.
Hmm.
So let's say that again. So in 20 something years, the the highest paying jobs, 20 something percent of them, those jobs don't even exist now. So
Hmm.
jobs are coming out,
Yes.
cryptocurrency, digital marketing, all that kind of stuff. So we're blessed that you can switch careers
Exactly.
3-4 times. Yeah. And then you can have a main career and have a what people call side hustle.
Hmm.
So it's getting busier for a lot of people. It's getting more
Hmm.
interesting. You're learning new
Yes.
things. You're learning digital marketing. You're learning media, how to do this, how to do that online. If you're not careful, other things can suffer. And
Hmm.
so there are a lot of people who are lonely because of the internet. Also, you can just be there, just watching Netflix or being on YouTube, and you're not fueling your relationships. You're not talking
Hmm.
to people. You're not talking to God. You're not praying. You're not studying the word.
Hmm.
You're not, you're not, vibing with your partner.
And that
You're
would
always on the
affect your
phone.
relationship with God and with people around you.
Absolutely.
If you stay so long, too much on,
Yes, sir. So at the heart of it, those are the most important things. I tell people that the two most important relationships the three most important relationships in the world is your relationship with the person who made you, your relationship with yourself, and then your relationship with your better half or your family. So those three in that order. If your relationship with God is not good, then you might manifest on some other levels, maybe career, whatever, but at the heart of it, you will not live a fulfilling life. That is why you see people who are popular, who are rich. This person just comes out one day and commits suicide.
Exactly.
So there's been a struggle all the while. On the pages of the magazine, they look like they're balling and everything is fine. But because they don't know who they are according to the one who made them, according to the manual, there's a huge gap there. I mean, there are several examples, people who have died who are still living. That this person they have a good name, they have a big name, but then they're struggling because they've not fixed the relationship with the one who made them. So it's good that we balance all those things.
Balance them. Wow, amazing. Wow, thank you so much for being on the show today. This is so informative. This is so exciting. Before you round up the show, we have just a few more minutes. We'd love you to just do a song for us, a few lines, just and
okay. So it will have to be a cappella.
Yeah, a cappella. We don't mind. A cappella is fine.
Piano, but it's fine.
A cappella is fine.
So God has given us victory. God has given us victory over the enemy. God has given us victory. God has given us victory over the enemy. I just want to announce to everyone, God has given you victory. You're not trying to fight for victory. God has given you victory. That is your ATM card. That is your access pass. You just need to use it. You just need to put it in that situation. So you get to the door of the hotel, and at the reception, they're giving you an access pass. You don't have to knock. You don't have to say anybody in there. It's your number. It's there. You just need to take that card, put it in, and then you access. So God has given you a victory card. Use your victory card today. Put it in, access God's eternal blessing.
Woo!
Thank you for having me on the show.
Wow, drums roll. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's so very nice having you on the show today. With so much thank you for your time and also for being a blessing to so many people. We say we appreciate you and we celebrate the great work God is doing through you, in you. And to your family, we want to say extend our greetings and our love from us here to your family, to your lovely family, to your parents, to your wife and the children and everyone, and to the team. We want to say big thank you to you, especially for doing an amazing job in Christ, in the body of Christ. I want to say thank you so much. Wow. All right, sir. So we'll hopefully we'll love to have you again on the show before the end of the year. We'll love to have you again on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we round up, you know something?
Yeah, I was gonna say when the next single comes out, I'll be sure to send you. Thank you for being a great support to gospel artists. Thank you for being consistent. I was telling you, that the first time I came across you was several years back.
Wow.
So thank you for that consistency. Thank you for being consistent over the year. It takes a lot to do this. I mean, there are several distractions and things that should make people, is this working, is it not working? But you've kept at it. So much respect and admiration for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And for anyone who wants to contact you, how can they get your contact? How should they contact you? If they want you to produce their songs for them, they want you to, how can they reach you?
So on Instagram, it's Phatstrings at Phatstrings. That's PHATSTRINGS. On Facebook is Gbenga Akinfenwa. On Twitter is also Phatstrings. then you can, if you go to any of my social media, you probably see a number, a business number. You can talk to the manager. You can send an email. We will get it and we'll respond.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Let's round up the show. Thank you so much, and we are blessed and honored having you on the show today. So to our viewers, thank you to you for joining us on the show. See you next time, same station, same time next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.